Dear Christians, the world is rapidly approaching a moment foretold thousands of years ago, a prophecy that speaks of nations rising against nations, kingdoms clashing, and global upheaval on a scale humanity has never seen before. Is this just a coincidence, or are we living through the fulfillment of ancient words? Stay with me as we explore the Bible's chilling yet hopeful revelations about global war and the future of our world. Wars and rumors of wars. The Bible has repeatedly warned us about the signs of the end times. Jesus himself said, "You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nation will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom." Matthew 24 verses 6 to 7. This isn't just a warning about isolated conflicts, it's a prophecy about global chaos. What we're seeing today, rising political tensions, territorial disputes, and increasing violence, feels like a mirror image of this prophecy. Could we be nearing the days Jesus spoke of? Daniel's vision of global empires. The prophet Daniel received a vision that gives us even more insight into these turbulent times. He saw 4 beasts, each representing global powers, Daniel 7 verses 2 to 3. These beasts symbolize empires rising and falling, each one more ruthless and destructive than the last. The final beast Daniel described was terrifying beyond imagination. It points to an unprecedented global conflict, a war not just of nations but of ideologies and spiritual forces. It's a chilling reminder that the battles we see on earth are often reflections of unseen struggles in the spiritual realm. Yet even in this vision of destruction, there is hope. Daniel reminds us that God's kingdom will ultimately prevail. The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The book of Revelation gives us another vivid image of global conflict. John writes of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. The second horseman, riding a fiery red horse, carries a sword and is given power to take peace from the earth, Revelation 6 verse 4. This horseman symbolizes the devastation of war, a conflict so massive it engulfs nations and leaves destruction in its wake. But war doesn't come alone. It brings famine, economic collapse, and disease. This begs the question, are we prepared for what's to come? The prophecy of Gog and Magog. In Ezekiel 38 to 39, we find a prophecy about a massive invasion led by Gog from the land of Magog. This coalition of nations will rise up against Israel in a final, catastrophic battle. Ezekiel writes, "You will come from your place in the far north, you and many nations with you, all riding on horses, a great horde, a mighty army." Ezekiel 38 verse 15. This is more than just geopolitics. It's a spiritual war, a rebellion against God's people and His divine plan. But even in the face of such overwhelming opposition, the prophecy makes one thing clear: God will defend His people, and His justice will prevail. Hope amid chaos. The Bible's prophecies about war are not without hope. Jesus offers this promise in Matthew 24 verses 13 to 14. "But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations, and then the end will come." Even as the world seems to spiral out of control, the gospel will continue to spread. God's plan for salvation and restoration cannot be stopped. For believers, these prophecies are a call to persevere, share Christ's message, and trust in His unshakable sovereignty. The final victory. Revelation 19 paints a breathtaking picture of Jesus as the ultimate victor. "I saw heaven standing open, and there before me was a white horse, whose rider is called Faithful and True. With justice, he judges and wages war. His eyes are like blazing fire, and on his head are many crowns." Revelation 19 verses 11 to 12. This is the final war, the one that ends all wars. Jesus will return, not as a suffering servant, but as a conquering king. He will bring justice, defeat evil, and establish His eternal kingdom. What should we do? So, what does this mean for us today? The Bible's warnings aren't meant to frighten us, they're meant to prepare us. Now is the time to draw closer to God. Pray fervently. Seek His guidance. Share His love with a world desperately in need of hope. Paul encourages us in 2 Timothy 1 verse 7. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. No matter how uncertain the future may seem, we can face it with courage. Why? Because God is in control. If this message has touched your heart, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs encouragement. Leave a comment below and tell us, how do you find peace in uncertain times? And don't forget to subscribe for more Bible-based messages of hope and truth. Together, let's spread the light of God's Word to a world searching for answers. God bless you, and remember, our hope is not in this world but in the one who holds it in His hands.